my channel and to another weekly vlog. This morning I've been to yoga, had a great time and stayed and had a cup of tea with all the lovely people there. And this afternoon, today, we've just got ready and we're about to head to a mac and cheese festival and I am so excited. I haven't had like a proper breakfast, so I'm really hungry. And you know what would curb that hunger? With a bit of mac and cheese. So this is not what we thought it was at all. We've got a map and it's like a mac and cheese crawl. So we're at our first stop, some mac and cheese and a mac and cheese pie. How is it? Pretty good?
It's very good mac and cheese.
We've got some pints as well, well thirds of pints while we're here. Haggis in it. I'm very excited to try this. So it was more like a mac and cheese crawl. Like we went around loads of different places and tried mac and cheese in each one, so we had like a nice walk through the city, loads of places that we hadn't been to before, which was very cool. And then we ended up going along with the independence referendum parade, march, not parade, a march, and we watched that for a bit, and then we went to, they had like a bit at the end where there was music and talks and stalls and stuff. So it was a very exciting day and we're absolutely knackered now. Surprising how exhausting lots of carbs and walking is. So it's 7:15 on a Saturday night. Is it Saturday? Yeah, it is. And I am writing blog posts for this thing that I'm volunteering for. It's like a festival in the south side of Glasgow, which is where I live, and there's a lot of blog posts to write. So I'm going to be writing one every day this weekend. So I'm just cracking on. I feel like I've got so much to do. I'm feeling quite overwhelmed. Productive morning. I've been up since like 6. It's now like, what time is it?
Nearly 8.
Nearly 8. And I've been sorting out the living room because we're trying to bond the bunnies again. This is like try 2 of bonding the bunnies. I'm making a whole separate video about this, so that will be up soon. Hopefully, if the bonding works, then it will be up soon. But it's involved me completely rearranging the living room. It's a bit all over the spot. We've got like a new bonding space over there, so fingers crossed it goes well. I need to go to work this morning, while Adam's staying in and looking after the bunnies, and then hopefully this evening it'll all be going well and they'll be friends. Looks like actual mince meat. It looks gross and it's squiggly lines. It is from Natural, what's it called? Naturally interesting. I'm curious to try this because there seems to be a corn mince shortage. We can't find any corn mince anywhere and we're trying to make spag bol, so we're giving this mince a go. Okay, it's actually really nice. And soya mince is normally gross, but this one is good. They've been together now. Oh, good yawn, Poople. For about 13.5 hours. We've had a couple of big fights, but as you could see just then, they were just chilling next to each other. And the majority of the time, they are ignoring each other, which is ideal. So hopefully the overnight bond will go well. Ideal Sunday night, face mask, Radio 1's chillest show, and I'm having a foot bath as well, but I'm not going to show you that because I know what people are like. Good morning. They've done it. I did wake up quite a few times in the night with them, but there was quite long gaps between their fights, so that was okay. It's been a day and a half now, and they've stopped with all the like manic territorial peeing and pooing. So I've given them the rugs back, and Fern immediately tipped all the hay onto the rugs. We left them alone for a couple of minutes when we went to take the bins out, and they were absolutely fine. So we'll see how they are tonight as well, and then we're both at work in the afternoon for a couple of hours. Our work times overlap, so we'll see how we're feeling in the morning, see how they do overnight as to whether we're going to leave them alone for a couple of hours. But they haven't really had a fight for the last few hours, touch wood, and when they have kind of been confronting each other, they've been kind of sorting it out themselves. Like one of them will charge at the other or like snort at the other, and then the other will just walk away, or you know, one of them will come and approach the other in a litter tray and the other will just hop out. So that's good. They're not besties, but at least they are cohabiting at the moment. So we had a massive setback. They had a pretty big fight and Fern's got a scratch on her eyelid. So we've decided that we're going to separate them and kind of stop this bonding session, this super long one. So we've put them back into their cages right next to each other, so they're still smelling each other and still getting used to their smell. And what we're going to do is just keep them in the cages when we're out or when we're asleep, and then the whole time we're in, we're going to put them back in this area and like rebuild that wall, because part of that wall was Fern's cage. And we're going to swap their cages every day, so they'll be in the other cage, so they're still getting used to each other's smells, getting used to each other's litter trays, so we don't have a setback. We've also been looking into kind of seeing a consultant, almost like an advisor, and taking them in to get some advice on how we can progress this, because they're just not getting anywhere. So very annoying and kind of disheartening that we've had to go back, because they were so lovely this afternoon. You're just eating your newspaper. So lovely and chill this afternoon, and then just this evening they would not stop fighting. Like they'd fight, we'd separate them, like we'd separate them before it got bad, and then straight away they'd be back at each other. So hopefully by kind of only letting them out to exercise and only letting them play when they're together, they'll kind of associate that. And I don't know, maybe I read this on a website, so we're just trying everything to see what works for us. I feel so bad for them though, like I feel super guilty keeping them in such small spaces. Even though he lived in that cage for a long time, now that they, I don't know, have tasted freedom, have tasted having the whole room to themselves, or Boop having the whole flat to himself at one point, I feel bad putting them back, but hey, it's what we're gonna try. Good morning. We're not doing so great today. They have just been non-stop fighting, so I put them back in the run to have their breakfast. Hey baby. And yeah, they've just been at each other. The only way they'll not is if I sit in between them. There's Fern. Where are you going, baby? Where are you going? Yes, that's the camera. Are you vlogging? Are you vlogging, baby? Yeah, so I've just sat in the room with them. I'm in work this afternoon, so I'm going to put them back in the cages. They just keep fighting, and I've been injured. I didn't have time to grab the dustpan and brush to break up the fight, so Fern bit me. She didn't mean to. They fight with their eyes closed, so my hand just got in the way. But it bloody hurt. There were 2 different kinds of vegan cheese in Morrison's, so we're going to test them. So we'll start with the Violife one, the darker one.
Okay. Good cheddary aftertaste.
I'm not getting much taste at all. It's a good texture, it's very creamy.
Yeah, and this is...
The Morrison's Own one.
Okay.
That's a lot more of a cheesy texture.
No, I think the taste is better, but the texture is a bit weird.
It's closer to cheese though.
Yeah, close
The
to cheese than
Violife
the other
one's
one.
more like creamy.
Yeah. I think I prefer the Morrison's Own, if I'm honest.
I think the Morrison's Own is more cheesy,
Yeah.
like more similar to
It
cheese,
tastes-
but I prefer the Violife one.
The Morrison's Own one tastes like cheese flavoured crisps.
It does.
Yeah, like, yeah.
And I don't like cheese flavoured crisps,
You're so peculiar.
so that's why.
Okay.
I don't like it. Right, we're going to grate some half and half onto our pasta bake and see how it melts as well. So neither of them have melted very well. This is the Violife on this half and this is the Morrison's one. The Violife one did melt really well. We've had that one before and it did melt, so we'll try put it in the microwave. Maybe that will make it melt. But this stuff has gone kind of crispy almost and this is kind of soft. But also our oven is rubbish, so it's not a standardised test at all. So microwaving it did help a bit. You can see that's the Violife one that's gone kind of clumpy together and the Morrison's one still just kind of in its grated bits. So Violife one's definitely my favourite.